Alright, what we have for you today is a collection of boots and shoes. These are all from Allen Edmunds. I had made a previous video about this one pair of boots and wanted to point out about the soles. Someone mentioned that there isn't much information about the Vibram Gumlite sole out there, so I figured, let me get together the pairs of Allen Edmunds shoes that I have with a foamier type sole and go ahead and talk about them for a minute. I had mentioned in that video that my wife's one pair has a Gumlite sole, a Vibram Gumlite sole as well. And so I figured I would get into these. So moving straight on, the video that I had made before was these boots. They're excellent boots. You can go ahead and check out that video. It's a short video, just a quick little review on them. It's a softer leather. They're excellently made. All of these are Goodyear welted 360 Goodyear welts. They've been excellent shoes. They're all made by Allen Edmunds. This is one of the foamier soles. This is a Vibram Gumlite sole, as you can see right there. It holds up pretty well. I talk about that in the last video, and I mention it with I believe it's the same material that is made with the Piper sandals, which you can look at that review if you so choose. That you'll find that elsewhere in the thread. Maybe I'll link it down below so you can find it pretty quickly. But it's just another video I've done of a quality product that you can get made for yourself. So moving on, these are some Higgins Mill boots that my wife has and wear them in the winter. She's scuffed them up a little and everything. I can do some work on those, buff that out some. But again, they've held up quite well. She's worn them a lot. And the Vibram Gumlite sole, while being very light compared to a normal lug sole, is holding up pretty well. Not as well as, say, hardened rubber, vulcanized rubber type sole would from Vibram or something like that. But definitely better than most of these foamy soles would hold up. I'll do another video on these to show more details. But they're, an excellent boot. It's a Higgins Mill type with the shearling inside. Or I'm pretty sure it's fake shearling, but they absolutely hold up well. The Gumlite sole, again, Vibram Gumlite, holds up excellently for a foam sole. Now, moving on from there, though, we have an Extralite sole, which is another common sole that you'll find at Allen Edmunds. These are very comfortable, however, and they're very light. And again, Goodyear 360 welt. These are a pair of Tate wingtips in a 12D. My wife's boots. I'm not sure if I can find the size on these quickly. Yeah, I'm not sure. I believe these are probably an 8.5 men's. She prefers for winter boots, and that to order the men's are a little wider. Works a little better with wool socks in the winter. We live in a rather cold climate, so with the wool socks, it gives you a little extra space, and that way you don't have to order wide. And usually women's pairs are made kind of inferiorly, unfortunately. Men's pairs are made a little more rugged, as if women only want fashion. There's plenty of reasons why women would want a quality boot or shoe. But moving on, like I said, this is a Tate wingtip with the Extralite sole. Now this I've only worn a couple times out and about. Maybe 25 or so. The shoes are wearing it nicely and they're fine. They weren't very expensive. I got them as a seconds from Allen Edmunds store, and they're great. They work out fine. They're light. They're very lightweight, very comfortable, very squishy kind of when you're wearing them. However, you can tell from the wear, and considering that I've mostly only worn these, for, going to the store or something like that. Nothing, that I've been really grinding them down or anything. Whereas these boots I've worn to the store, she's worn these, back and forth to the office to many stores, so on and so forth, outside a few times. And these are holding up well. This, you can already see some wear. If you really look, it's kind of hard to tell from the angles, but from there you can kind of tell you're getting some wear on this Gumlite, and I understand that's the style of step that I take and the gait within my walk, but at the same time, you're getting wear, and that's pretty quick for, you know, as much or as little as I've worn these. You can just tell that it's not going to hold up really well. Good news, they're Goodyear 360 welted, so it won't be that hard to get resoled. I'll probably get a Vibram sole or possibly a leather sole, maybe with a rubber pad on it, just a sole saver to be able to extend their life once it's time to resole them. But that's in the future, and most cobblers will be able to do that pretty easily. So that's the Extralite sole from Allen Edmunds. Moving on from there, we have a pair of Allen Edmunds Shannon DR in brown. It's sort of a very light tan color with, you know, waves throughout it. And it's got this red sole. As you can see, it's already starting to kind of flake away a little there. Now, I've worn these a little more than the Extralites, so I expect some wear, but you can see on the heel strike, you're starting to get that, let me get that to focus in there. You're starting to get just a little bit of wear there, and it's, you know, starting to flatten out. And, you know, same in here, there's a little less texture with some of these. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. Get a little focus. But this is oil resistant and slip resistant sole, and, you know, like I said, it's in red, so it's a little funkier. You know, nice to wear with fun outfits in the summertime or something, just when you're having a nice little date night or something. But they, you know, I use them as more of a casual type shoe, of course. However, again, the foam just isn't holding up. It's very squishy. It's almost a little harder on the bottom. Maybe they heat treat it on the bottom just to kind of lock it in, which gives it a little extra wear. But again, Goodyear 360 welted, so should be able to have them resold at a cobbler. That was, you know, my intent when buying them. And again, they were a discounted, heavily discounted clearance pair, which for me worked out great because I got them for a little over $100, which, you know, straight from Allen Edmunds clearance site, so that worked out well. But that's the general idea with these foam soles. The foam soles that say the Gumlite tend to be the ones that last a long time. They're a little harder than the other ones. It's sort of a mix between the vulcanized rubber and the foam of the Extralite. The ones with the Extralite and then these oil resistant and slip resistant ones, they won't wear quite as long. I actually think maybe the oil resistant, slip resistant will wear a little longer than the Extralite ones. The Extralite ones are probably for your traveling salesman, your businessman who, you know, walks around a lot, is on his feet all day, or woman for that matter. But, you know, the person that's going to be, you know, looking for a pair of shoes that's a little dressier, but at the same time hinges between being dressy and, you know, being very comfortable. Like I said, they are quite comfortable. It's just you're not getting that wear and that longevity out of paying a lot of money for a pair of shoes. So I would only suggest buying, you know, personally, it's up to you, but I would suggest only paying, you know, when they're on clearance or on deep discount sale or something like that for a pair of the Extralites. They're just not my cup of tea. As far as longevity, when you're paying, you know, $400 or $500 for a pair of shoes, that really doesn't make a lot of sense. However, the boots with the Gumlite sole, these are excellent, and I can't say anything wrong with even paying full price if you needed a quality pair of boots that, you know, is pretty easy to take care of. And, you know, as usual, put shoe trees and everything. I always suggest that. I have some plastic ones in these. I'll be changing those out for cedars soon enough. But, you know, just take care of your shoes and boots and take care of your leather, and it'll take care of you. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.